think you're coming here for an apology, or you think you're coming here for me to retract my statements, you can retract yourself back to your dirty hole that you was in before you came out to start talking I'm standing 10 toes down. I said what the I said, bro. Nene Leakes is more famous than some of your top 10 NBA players currently, because reality TV and music expands to certain realms that, unfortunately for you guys that are in my comments, it doesn't transcend quite the same. People need to understand that outside of America, we don't even know the names of the teams here. Anyways, I decided to do a deep dive because I really don't know anyone that is currently playing in the NBA. So the NBA player rankings, according to The Ringer. So number 1 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I've never heard of this man in my life. And if you've heard of them, guys, comment below. Nikola Jokic. I've never heard of him in my life. Victor Wembanyama. I've never heard of.
She's naming people that aren't even from America that are playing basketball here in America. These people that have accents that come straight out of their countries. Yet everybody wants to go to the American dream. Everyone wants to play for the NBA, but nobody knows the players. You're reading off the top of the list.
Luke Doncic, never heard of him in my life. Kawhi Leonard, never heard of him in my life. Anthony Edwards, never heard of him. I'm gonna scroll to find. Oh, Stephen Curry. See, I know Stephen Curry. He's number 11 out of the top 10 men who are currently playing in the NBA. And congratulations to all of you. The NBA and everything you've achieved is phenomenal. I'm sure you're making money. I'm sure you're making your cities proud. But me as a UK resident, there's only 2 of you I have ever heard of in my life. Guys, don't come for me. All right.
No, don't sit up as a UK resident. No, that's rolling back as a UK resident. No, don't at the end admit that you was getting your own ass kicked and you literally just kicked your own ass again. Just don't say nothing else about nothing that's going on over here. As a UK resident, of course we know y'all don't watch our sports. It's okay to admit you've been wrong. I'm not going to say you're completely wrong, but for this situation, what you said was definitely wrong. Talking about we don't know Klay. You talking about we overseas? Where you at? Is that what you're talking about? Because in 2016, Megan Thee Stallion was doing ciphers, and she just dropped I guess her first single. Klay Thompson, 2016, 17, 18, he was already going viral, going crazy over touring China, playing in the Olympics, getting champions. He was already up there. Megan Thee Stallion wasn't nowhere up there, nowhere yet. She was just going viral underground on the scene. And this was in 2022 when she was going out with Partisan Fontaine. Partisan Fontaine, which is what a lot of people didn't know who the hell he was. People found out, oh, he was the guy that, helped write for Cardi, Bodak Yellow or whatever. You know what I mean? Did Meg Thee Stallion back then bring Partisan Fontaine to fame? Did you know Meg Thee Stallion back then in 2022? I bet you did. I bet you still didn't know who Klay Thompson was, I guess, because you wasn't paying attention. But Klay Thompson was way more popular than Megan Thee Stallion. This is 2022. We're just gonna leave that right here.
I've seen way too many women posting videos talking about we didn't know who Klay Thompson was until he started dating Megan Thee Stallion. Who's we? Because we know Klay Thompson. You just didn't know who Klay Thompson was. This is the same Klay Thompson that made 60 points in 29 minutes, might I add. And this is the same Megan Thee Stallion that lied on a man, which then resulted in him being in prison, and then he got stabbed in there 11 times.
And this is why that whole situation right there, I'm gonna say it again. This is why Megan Thee Stallion had that image problem, because this split up her audience real bad. It fucked everything up. And this is why Klay Thompson apparently was a win for her, because out of all the people that she dated before, she viewed Klay Thompson as the savior. And yes, it was wrong. He cheated on her. I get it. But it's crazy because of the fact that a lot of people are not going to feel sympathy for, well, they don't. You see it in the comments. A lot of people agree with Homegirl at the beginning from the UK. But when you have pictures like this, and this on the internet forever, and your dating history is out there, and the industry is what it is, everybody date everybody, everybody smash everybody know everybody, right? Small circle, I guess, right? It's out there, and you start to look a certain way. Then when you get cheated on, people are not going to feel that bad for you because of how you come off. People comparing, oh, 7 rings. Oh, Meg got seven Grammys. Klay got 4 rings, 5 rings, whatever. What is that? Oh, nobody who not. It was people that literally saying that, comparing Grammys. Don't nobody care about no Grammys like that, fam. People saying after Grammys, protesting the Grammys. You comparing NBA championship rings to Grammys that are arguably, debatably fraudulent. Sometimes they get it right. You know, there's more times they don't than they do, apparently. The people like the girl at the beginning are hurting Meg's image even more. Meg did not ask for this. I'm going to say that again. Meg did not ask for none of this.
At Megan Thee Stallion that you guys are defending? No, we knew who Klay Thompson was. We didn't want Klay Thompson with Megan Thee Stallion because we knew what she would be capable of doing to him. She could lie on a man and he's sent to prison and he was nearly on his deathbed. That Megan Thee Stallion is who you guys are defending? The only people who know Megan Thee Stallion are the women who go to the clubs and like to be degraded. Because that's exactly what Megan Thee Stallion music is. It's literally just degrading music. She's degrading you guys in her music, and you guys don't care. Because y'all are alike. There's no one who's going to sit here and tell me that they actually enjoy Megan Thee Stallion's music, who is a nice, polite young woman. Not here. Anyways.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit up here and say nobody listens to Meg Thee Stallion. You hear Meg Thee Stallion getting played at everywhere, weddings, birthday parties, whatever. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm having a party or whatever, I'm throwing the kickback and girls coming over. There's gonna be a few Meg Thee Stallion tracks that play. Hot girls, hot girl summer, hot girl in the cold winter. Everybody twerking in the snow, twerking in the summer, whatever. She got some good songs to play. I'ma play them.
We know who Klay Thompson is, and we been knew who he was. Anyways, free Tory.
Just out of curiosity here, did Meg Thee Stallion...
I mean, y'all could debate about that if y'all want. I'm not into that.
...make Klay Thompson a global superstar before or after he won a gold medal in the Olympics? I'm sure you've all seen that clip of that unfortunate girl saying that nobody knew who Klay Thompson was before Megan Thee Stallion, and the only reason Klay Thompson even went out with Meg Thee Stallion was for clout. All over social media, you hear women saying that this was the fumble of the century, that Klay Thompson made an...
That was the real reason everybody got on her ass. He only went out with her for clout. She's a come up for him. That's the real reason. Her saying, "Oh, he's not popular in the UK and all that. I didn't know him." That's fine. You're kind of acknowledging, like a backhanded acknowledgement to everybody that, "Oh, well, I'm in the UK. I ain't know her." That's whatever with that. The real reason is because she thought that it was a come up. I don't know why the hell she thought that.
Incredibly horrible mistake that he could never get a woman like Megan Thee Stallion. How could he do something so incredibly terrible? Ladies, we're about to have a very uncomfortable conversation. No matter how much you love Megan Thee Stallion, no matter how much you think she's a princess or a queen, no matter how talented you think she is, whether or not men find her attractive has nothing to do with you. You don't get to determine your own sexual market value. Just like with Klay Thompson, men do not get to determine Klay Thompson's sexual market value either. So whether or not Klay Thompson actually fumbled Megan Thee Stallion isn't really up to you. Klay Thompson is a 5-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA champion, and 1-time Olympic gold medalist.
5-time All-Star, okay, 4-time champion. Yeah, I know I kept getting it wrong.
He's worth $180 million. He's one of the 5 greatest shooters in NBA history, and he is a walk-in first ballot Hall of Famer. Because of all those things make him attractive to the opposite sex. So let's look at the women that Klay Thompson would be able to date in the United States. Total women in the United States between the ages of 21 and 32, Megan Thee Stallion's 31, so we're just going to say 32, is 22 million women. If we remove overweight women, and yes, you can check this out for yourself,
he's
70% of the people in the United States are overweight, we're going to find that there's only 6.6 million women left. If we remove women who have children, which is 50% of
damn, okay, I didn't know he was going to go into it like a scientific, socialistic breakdown.
Women, then we end up with 3.3 million women. And then if we only keep the top 5% most attractive women, all of which are available to him on Instagram, by the way, if we only keep that, Klay Thompson has a dating pool of 165,000 gorgeous women for him to go out with. Megan Thee Stallion is a 3-time Grammy Award-winning artist. She's got 33 million followers on Instagram, and she is part...
This is the video I was talking about in the last video. I'm going to link the one I did before that.
...of the cast of Moulin Rouge on Broadway, and none of those things make men...
It's not your fault, Meg. You didn't do this.
...more attracted to her. She is worth...
Well, except for putting out... exposing the whole situation on Instagram, which I don't think Klay Thompson was going to do, but I guess Meg wanted to get ahead of it somehow before the press got to it and somebody knew about it. Somebody's always in somebody's circle snitching. So
$40 million though, and that does make some men more attractive, but that's not a video we're going to make here. So let's use the demographic data for Klay Thompson and just see how easy it would be for Megan Thee Stallion to replace him. Total men in the United States worth $180 million. That's 50,000 men. If we remove men under 6'6", which is how tall Klay Thompson is, that's 99% of men that we remove. If we remove married men and men under 6'6", that leaves us with 210 men. If we remove overweight men, which is 70% of men, like we said before, that's 63 men. Not 63,000 men. Not 6,300 men, 63 men, period, that Megan Thee Stallion could date. And we're not counting the men that are 70 or 80 years old, and we're not counting for men who are physically good looking. So I know what you're thinking, Michael, that's totally unfair. Let's not do that. Maybe she could actually lower her standards and not be with a guy worth $180 million. Maybe she's with a guy who's worth as much as she is, which is $40 million. So $40 million, that's 100,000 men in the United States. $40 million and under 6 feet tall, that leaves us with 14,000 men. If the ones that are not married, we get rid of 58% of men, and that leaves us with 6,000 men. And remove overweight, that is 1,800 men. And remember, we are not.
God damn. Remove overweight. Now, here's the thing about the overweight thing for men and women. Most of us are apparently overweight. And I guess the numbers is going off of stats by you're scraping everything off the top. I mean, like, you're a pound overweight. They're going to put you on the list as over. I don't know how this goes, but I'm just saying overweight. I'm guessing they're counting that too. For what I'm about to say, if you go by what your body weight is compared to your height, most people are overweight. Fam, like 90% of people are overweight because the numbers are so crazy. Like if you are 5'10" and you're a guy, you have to weigh in between 170 and 180 or some shit like that. I don't know. It's something crazy like that. The numbers are so crazy that nobody is over, like even girls and how they fluctuate with like the hips and everything else and how their body fat comes onto their body, baby fat and everything else. For women, it's even worse because y'all gain weight so easily to the point that y'all 1 pound, 3 pounds, you eat one thing and all that weight goes to your ass. You're overweight in 72 hours. It's crazy. So the weight to height ratio or how being overweight is classified now and within the past 10 years, most people are overweight. So these numbers are just like, so a lot of people that probably normally didn't used to look at themselves, don't let's say looks. Let's go with looks. Some people that you wouldn't think looked overweight are considered overweight numbers wise. So it's give or take with these numbers when we go into overweight people. So most people, when you look at them, ain't going to look overweight. So you're going to be, oh, you're over. How much do you weigh? Oh, I weigh this much. And they said I'm overweight. You're overweight. You don't look nothing overweight. Yeah, most people don't look overweight, but just by technicality, but just by how the numbers look. So
looking at how physically attractive they are. Some of these men are in their 80s and 90s. This is who she has to choose from. Remember, Klay Thompson had 165,000 women to choose from, and Megan Thee Stallion has 1,800 men to choose from. So who really fumbled the bag?
This has got to be the most stupid and saddest form of parasocial relationships I have ever seen in my adult life. So you're about to sabotage your own personal relationship for a woman who does not know you fucking exist.
And what makes matters even funnier is that ladies are planning a mass cheat first campaign tonight in response to Klay Thompson cheating on Meg Thee Stallion. They're planning on ruining their own relationships to punish men in general because of what Klay Thompson did.
Yeah,
now, during this video,
I
gave you guys some demographic data. None of this was my opinion. I didn't give any opinion whatsoever. But I do have one last thing to say to you. Because all of you ladies who are making this content about Megan getting fumbled, or making this content about Klay Thompson being chopped, or making this content about let's all go cheat on your boyfriends, you all have one thing in common. And I say this with true love and compassion. Megan Thee Stallion does not give a fuck about any of you and doesn't even know your name.
I would also like to add, a professional athlete that has been making a gazillion dollars for however long Klay Thompson's been in the league. How long has he been in the league?
I'm going to give you his career earnings real quick because they're a lot. But 12 years, something like that.
And we've never known any of Klay Thompson's personal interests. 14 years in the NBA.
He's over.
How many rings?
He's over $300 million.
He's made over $300 million.
Way more than that.
How many rings?
I'm pretty sure.
4?
3 or 4 rings.
I got a feeling Klay Thompson's pulling in half a bill or maybe close to it because of all the endorsements and everything else. Of course, all the money ain't going to be on paper, right?
He's done
And you've never known about him dating anybody.
I think only Kendall.
He was with Kendall.
I think so, yeah.
All right. I'll go with it. Rasan said it. Whatever.
That sounds pretty.
You can look at a picture. I'm not going to put it up here, or maybe I will. There was like, if you look at Klay Thompson's roster of women, just by going off looks, they say if you put Meg in there, look at Meg just sitting out, standing up by herself. You don't think Meg should know damn well she ain't had a chance after his dating history. It's crazy.
It doesn't change my point. My point is you've all assumed a man who makes $300 million and has 4 championship rings and run around with Steph ain't out here bagging joints.
Facts. What a terrible.
Y'all made that up
Yeah.
out of I don't know why.
Because Meg is a big deal, and you go, oh, wow, you're with Meg. This looks cool.
You know what a bigger deal is? $300 million, 4 NBA rings, and playing on national television.
On
and
the
winning-
Warriors, by
on
the way.
Warriors, and getting chips. Big deal. But
Somebody else broke it down, and they said, look how many people showed up to a game with Klay. To be fair, honest, we're talking about Steph Curry and people showing up to. They try to put it a lot to her ticket sales in her show. Look how many people show up for a Warriors game and all that. I wouldn't do that. That's too many other people involved. People are fans of both teams. I'm not gonna do that. That's not fair. But people were putting his jersey sales against her album sales. And each year that the jersey sold was selling more than her album. Oh man, people broke this thing down in so many types of crazy. Look, Meg, I know you didn't ask for this. All right, I know you did not ask for this.
I say all that to say that I believe this is more indicative of an athlete
hella blown
who's been at the top of his game for a long time. And
apparently he's still at the top of his game.
Stop. But not really though, because I believe that he wanted and tried to be somebody that he wasn't.
Yep.
Meg was over there with the family. She even wrote in her I was going to call it manifesto, in her IG post.
No, not a manifesto.
No, I just had manifesto on the mind.
Yeah.
In her IG post about, I went to the family and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I don't believe Klay would have introduced you to his family if he wasn't serious.
Okay.
But once again, I don't know Klay. Maybe that's a part of the jokes. I don't know.
That's a good observation.
But I would assume that someone over there with the family and the way y'all was trying to make family moments and Thanksgivings and holidays, that he was probably trying. The problem is he's used to being a different person. And I think that a lot of people got to learn. When men who are used to being outside, women who are used to being outside, running around, getting money, hustling, and the life is changing. In an athlete's context, he had a terrible season last year, didn't he? This is like the beginning of the end.
Well, it's the beginning of the end. Yeah, I don't know if it's been terrible.
Okay, let's not call it terrible. But anyway, the beginning of an end for an athlete or someone who's used to performing at a certain level.
Very hard.
Causes someone's ego to spiral.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses. He's a cheater, according to Megan. He screwed up. I think if he would have been more aware and honest of where he is in his life, he might have been able to handle this a little differently.
Can I just say, though, back to the algorithm hustle.
I mean, what do you mean him handling it a little differently? Because he barely did shit. He just made the one video where he was on a boat. That's it. All he did was make the video when he was on a boat. Yeah, back on the water. It was the same thing he did when Drake did the little side-by-side, the thing, I forgot what you call it. What's it called? Instagram collabs. I don't even know if people even still use that. The Instagram sis type shit, the function they had on there for a little bit. Is it still there on Instagram? I don't know. Or did he use it and just edit and put the video up? I don't even remember. But it was, a few years ago. That's it. He didn't do nothing. Meg is the one that put all the business out and all. Klay Thompson didn't even, did he? He didn't say nothing that had to do with this relationship. He might have alluded to some things like, hey, I'm good, man. I'm out back on the water. What's up? More fish in the sea. I'm back. Good. Feels good to be back on these waters. That's it. He didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Why did Meg need to put this up in an IG story?
Because she probably wanted to get ahead of it.
Man, that's what I just said.
She's a
People
public
can't
person.
just break up. You can't just break up.
No, people would have made a story. It would have turned into something. She was probably trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's like
and
public
by the way, I don't know. She was doing most of the posting in the relationship anyway. He was in her social media. She was doing that. She was coming off of all of the noise that she had and trauma she had to deal with, and felt like she found a good dude and was very happy to celebrate being in what seemed to be a healthy relationship.
That's what I said. Yeah. So Klay was the come up. He was the birthday. Klay was the come up for her to better her person, to better her image, and probably she was working on her stuff, working on herself. Working on her personality and things that she could improve on. And yes, Klay did mess up. He cheated. It was wrong. But I told you why, a lot of people don't feel, sorry for her or something. But then, people talk about her alcohol problems and all that stuff like that. And then was that really a current video to where she was in the club, like pouring up drinks and all that? Like getting drunk and pouring drinks and people, like, was that? I don't know.
Or maybe they.
I mean, that's fine. You might need to drink it too sometimes, but just given the history of what it looks like in public, it just doesn't really look good to a majority of people.
Both intended it to be,
off of nothing.
and it didn't turn out that way. But by the way, Megan's hot and fly.
Yeah.
Klay is sought after in his own regard, I'm sure. People go through this type of thing all the time. This isn't abnormal. People
It's not. Like, every day. Every day people go through this.
This is abnormal.
No, the only abnormal thing to me is that you, like, literally an IG story where you detail why you and your partner broke up, to me is odd, but that's...
Not really, bro. Nobody's do this.
The details.
Nobody's do this. Look, people we don't.
That's weird. But that's
regular
weird.
people.
Y'all are weird.
No, but that's the.
I went through an entire whole divorce.
But
I didn't say a word.
That's you.
But be normal. Keep your ish together.
But that's not necessary. Listen.
Nah, it's not normal, bro.
Listen.
It's not normal.
Listen.
I see where Rosenberg is coming from. But the thing is, Megan randomly putting that out. And nobody said anything. And you just aired everything out. And everybody's like, what the fuck is this? We randomly saying that. Like, why is you doing that? There has to be a reason why you did that. It can't be just because you thought somebody, like I said earlier, somebody from the inner circle the story was going to get out. So you decided to put it out because we ain't going to be seen together and people going to start asking questions. I'm going to just tell y'all what happened. She was probably just pissed off, angry as shit. Just put it out. You know what I mean? I guess that goes kind of back to what Ebro was saying. Like, it's normal. Somebody get mad and they put some shit out. But knowing how this is going to look, I don't want to say Meg didn't ask for it, but Meg knew something was going to happen, some type of backlash. She know her own history, right?
You're not listening.
Your mood swings during your season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. These are quotes you share with your girlfriends. Like, why do people, I'm not mad at Meg. Why as a culture do we think this is normal?
Because you was in the AOL chats. It all started with you and you guys like in MySpace and Facebook sharing all your business. You was a part of that generation. You contributed to this, and now it's here.
I don't understand what you just said, but I don't get why.
No, but people do this all the time.
No, I know.
Oh, man. God, feels good to be back. Nothing like the ocean, let me tell you. Hey, Will, nothing like her. Little swell coming up.
This man's relieved. Nah, that's over. That's over with.
Boys, come on.
Was that a frap you got in your hand? You got that iced coffee going on? Turn that up, man. Woo, we chilling.
I'm thinking just like, if I see a fat sheep flat, I'm pulling the trigger.
Hey, pass me one of them brews back there, man. Pass me one of them, man. We chilling. We begin to eat later. You hopping on the grill? I bet, man. Invite some people over, man. We about to have a good time.
I'm just gonna put some blood on the deck, man. Just gonna get my rhythm back.